You are listening to Practical and Woo by Mindset and Manifest. My name is Eden, and I invite you to embark on a journey with me to explore the practical and spiritual edges of the unknown for the purpose of allowing you to embody and empower yourself uniquely as you are, and to intentionally create and live a life of freedom and fulfillment. Each week, I'm going to discuss topics such as energetics, reality creation, manifestation, astrology, tarot, human design, and more to help empower you to live beyond perceived limitations and to practically design your life so it feels like absolute magic every step of the way. Let's dive in. Well, hello, darling soul. When I first discovered The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, it had already been made into a movie. I remember the experience so vividly, lying on the couch in the family room of my childhood home, feeling the edge of shadowy despair that was my frequent and perpetual mental experience. All of a sudden, my ears perked at the sound of a voice emerging from the television. A white haired, wise looking man was telling a story of a young boy who wanted a bike, didn't have the means to purchase it, and then experienced receiving the bike in what seemed like a miraculous way only a short time after wishing for it, as if by magic. Although my mindset favored pessimism at the time, and I constantly felt like I was drowning in the shadowy waters of my own mind, I have nevertheless always felt open to the possibility of magic. I always fantasized about having a genie figure, fairy, or wizard grant me wishes or powers or anything of the sort, to produce from thin air something, anything that would fulfill my heart's desires. In this snapshot of my memory, it felt like this white haired man, who is Bob Proctor, by the way, and other thought leaders were telling me that magic is real and that magic is possible to experience in real life. From that singular moment onwards, I was hooked on the premise of reality creation. I committed the basic formula conveyed in The Secret to memory. Thoughts plus feelings match and attract desired things, people, experiences to you. Poof, wish granted. This moment was well over a decade ago, and since then, I have committed myself to the pursuit of learning and knowing anything and everything I can possibly discover about reality creation, energetics, manifestation, magic, and everything in between. Upon reflection of why I'm so enamored with this category of interest, I have realized that the reason I embarked on the journey in the first place is different from why I'm committed to it now. At the time, the subject appealed to me because I wanted so badly to feel better. I wanted to have a life that felt different from the one I was experiencing. I was miserable and desired from the core of my being to feel magical instead. In many ways, I wanted to be different. More accurately, I wanted to be the same as my perception of everyone else around me. I always felt odd, or I should say, at odds with the way other people portrayed themselves and with the accompanying shame I felt about being myself. And so here I was, learning from strangers on TV that I could create my own reality, that I could gain some semblance of control of what my life could look like, Sim City style. I have decided to tell you this story for a very particular reason. And while it feels vulnerable for me to share, it feels more important to relay to you something I have learned about reality creation after all of these years. A secret about the secret. Accepting who you are in every moment with all of your uniqueness, idiosyncrasies, quirks, emotions, moods, and innate magic is a required prerequisite for successful and meaningful reality creation. It is important for you to show up authentically as you are in every moment, with the capacity for you to authentically grow in every new moment. You get to decide the values you cherish as you evolve throughout your life, but the core of you must be authentic every step of the way. Having any kind of ulterior motive when you're manifesting skews your ability to cleanly project the energy needed to attract what you're wanting to intentionally create. A synonym for ulterior motive is also to be inauthentic, which the dictionary defines as something that is not, in fact, what it is said to be. To do something just because you think you'll get something from it, instead of doing something because it's the natural expression of who you are. In other words, you cannot create from your energy when you're trying to get tricky with the universe, when you're trying to get tricky with yourself. I should say you can create, but it may not go the way you're wanting it to. So, my old desire to be different than I am, yeah, that's not going to work because I am. Full stop. If anything, I attracted more experiences that caused me to feel more isolated and separated and odd. My desire to force my life to unfold based on how everyone else lives theirs, yep, that's also a no go. By not accepting myself, by not accepting my true wishes for my life's experience, I was giving up the driver's seat of my inner power to my external reality, including to my failed attempts at mimicking my perception of other people's happiness or to the whims and opinions of people requesting, expecting, demanding things from me. I was asking my mirror reflection to change its outfit without changing mine first. Think about it. When you use a mirror and you'd like to see yourself in a different set of clothes, you are required to change out of your current garments and into another set before your mirror reflection changes their outfit. Often, when people learn the principles in the secret, there is an initial assumption that they must force positivity and force themselves to think positively 100% of the time. We explored this topic in episode 11 of Practical and Woo, but I'd like to remind you that you do not need to be positive all of the time to be a successful creator of your reality. The good vibes only perspective is one that seems like the natural method for getting what you want using the principles of the law of attraction, but it actually distorts the principle of creation and disallows people from quote unquote achieving the results they're wanting. Let's break down what's happening energetically when we act inauthentically by trying to force positivity. In this context, we can think of forcing positivity as the ulterior motive. The initial thought people have often sounds something like this: well, if my thoughts and feelings attract my reality, and the things that I want are vibrating at the same level as positive thoughts, then I must be positive to get those things. Sounds pretty logical at face value. I must be positive to attract positive experiences, things, and desires. But this is what is happening underneath that initial assumption. Remember how I told you that the secret appealed to me because I wanted my life to be different than it was? That I wanted to be different from who I was. This tends to be a common desire when people first discover the principles of the secret. People want to experience the big, bold, beautiful things that they dream about, and they don't believe or largely doubt that it's possible to have them as they are when they are wanting them. It's often easier to doubt and manage your doubts than to dream and to discover you may be wrong. So people come into reality creation with this inkling of the inherent magic available to them and ultimately think that it only works by changing themselves, as opposed to working with the authentic and ever expanding energy of themselves. So, this is what they are essentially saying underneath the initial assumption. I want to manifest these things because I'm scared of them not happening, or I'm in pain with how things are now. And so, if I commit to holding myself in the frequency of good vibes, then only good things will happen to me because I can't have bad things happen to me ever. And I don't like and cannot accept what it means if I don't create the things that I want. I want a guarantee. In a similar way, I desired to be different because I felt I couldn't handle the way I was feeling and wanted my pain to go away. It's a very attractive notion to believe that if you can simply maintain your energy to a caliber that attracts wanted things, then you can feel better and have no pain anymore. We're talking about pain avoidance, but it's not so simple in practice. We don't live in a bubble. So, pain, obstacles, hardships are inevitably experienced by everyone, no matter how positive you are. And then, if you are using the original or initial assumption we're talking about, the pain, the hardships, the obstacles are subsequently denied, repressed, shoved away in favor of a false premise that by experiencing them, they'll never end, or even worse, they'll attract quote unquote bad things into your life. Denying how you're feeling or pretending that you're feeling differently than you're feeling is inauthentic. To force yourself to be positive so that you can get something you want or so that you can avoid pain is an ulterior motive. It just doesn't work energetically because you're not being you. So, what does work? From my experience, you must allow yourself to show up authentically as you are in every moment, whilst holding the capacity for your growth in the image, the feeling, the expression of the you you're authentically desiring to grow into. How are you expected to live your best life when you're denying who you are in the things you're asking for? How are you expecting to feel amazing in your life if you're conforming to everyone else's desires, wishes, needs, expectations, and not living for yourself? It's not about getting rid of negative feelings and thoughts. It's about embracing every piece of who you are, because everything is energy, and there is available energy to be reclaimed from every emotion and every experience. Successful manifestation is not a matter of creating a relationship with yourself that feels stifled, stringent, regimented, and one that is founded in fear and avoidance. Successful manifestation is a result of utilizing the access you have to the wholeness of you and channeling it in intended ways towards every step you take in your creation process. You're feeling sad? Feel the sadness in full authenticity. Let the energy of sadness become freed within you. Learn from it. Grow it into a means to stand for something that matters to you. You don't have to attach to being sad because that's not who you are. It's simply how you're feeling in one moment. Let it move, let it complete whatever way feels right for you to do. And I just want to clarify, it can be more than one moment, but you are not your sadness. You are not your emotions. They are simply something that's happening through you. You're feeling tired. Allow yourself to feel tired. Give yourself permission to rest. Cater to your needs. Love yourself through any cranky moments. and then use that energy to cultivate appreciation for the things that hold you when you're feeling down. You're feeling silly. Feel silly. Jump for joy, spin in circles, make a funny face at someone who will appreciate it just as much as you. Then use that energy to visualize a passion project that gives back to the world. We so often desire to create our own reality as a means to avoid the life we're leading. Yet, in that avoidance, you are missing the opportunity to grow into the truest form of who you are. You are missing the magic, the magic of alchemy, the magic of choice, the magic of being who you are wholly and authentically. You be you. Until next time.